So epic. Absolutely epic. I'll have to get a video together to go with that.
A very short video.
A very short video, like 10 seconds. Maybe a snippet of the Patterson-Gimlin film. Like the Squatchable banner over the top of it. You know, just the money shot, basically, with that.
Yeah, the thing where she actually shows her breasts. That's very racy. I don't know how they can show that on TV.
I was just thinking, like, you know, the iconic shot of its arm back and everything, but you go straight to the breasts.
Yes, I do. That's when I meet a lady, that's where my eyes go immediately and first and foremost.
Wow, that's
yeah, because I mean, they put them out there. What you know, it would be rude if I didn't.
Yeah. Well, now that we've successfully put women's rights back 50 years, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's edition of the Squatchable Podcast, where we take a look at some of the news from the Bigfoot week. Joining me, as always, from Power Breakdown, Phil Pulling.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Phil?
I'm doing okay. I'm pretty good. Yeah.
Good-o. And joining us, sitting in as the new third co-host to the Squatchable Podcast, Chubbs. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Greetings to everyone.
Any sightings of the Rougarou this week?
No, we're only a couple of days away from Mardi Gras, so it's really busy around here.
See, if I was the Rougarou, that's the time I would be out.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
I mean, he could go right into Bourbon Street and no one would notice.
You could just be like, yeah, it's a costume.
Yeah.
Just a costume. Here's some beads. Pay no attention.
Oh, okay, man. Yeah, good costume. Yeah, okay, whiskey's over here. Yeah.
That's it. That's the voice of the Rougarou from now on.
That's what it sounds like.
Trademark that, because that's how it sounds in my head. And if you enjoy Power Breakdown or Chubbs, you may enjoy the badly drawn misadventures of two Bigfoot, where this week Keith and Colin will set out in search of a new look for themselves. That's this week on Bigfooting with Keith and Colin. Without further ado, I am your host, Richard Allen, and let's just get on with it. Our first story, well, I had to feature this one. It goes without saying. A fellow Bigfooter from England with the exact same name as me. I was like, well, you've just earned yourself a spot on my podcast. I don't care where you're from. He doesn't say where he's from. His accent sounds a bit northern to me. It's a 2-minute video of a possible tree structure in England with a Bigfooter with the exact same name as me. Posted this week. We've had horrendous storms all week. It's just been absolutely terrible over here weather-wise. So I'm going to go ahead and think that this tree structure is naturally formed. It looked like the wind just dumped a bunch of debris in a tree to me. That's about it. I mean,
it was woven. You could see where it was woven.
It was woven.
It was woven. It looked like some kids went out there and they were making a little tree fort and they were weaving little branches and stuff together and having a good time. And then the wind came along, as you said, and kind of destroyed a lot of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But yeah, that kind of confused me because it had the YouTube signet on there. Yes, YouTube. I'm going to watch it on YouTube. I'll blow it. I know I'll enlarge it. So I went to YouTube and there was your name. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know he had another channel. So I started playing it. I says, that doesn't sound like him.
Literally, I got this off Squatchable, and I found it and I clicked on it and it said Richard Allen at the bottom. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
So maybe Sean saw your name on a Bigfoot video and said, oh, I'm going to have to publish this because it's Richard.
Well,
he might think it's you.
He might think it's me, in which case this dude is now forever associated with blogs and stuff. and badly drawn Bigfoot cartoons. So you're welcome for the free publicity, other Richard Allen. I have subscribed to your YouTube channel, and I will try to feature your videos as often as I can.
Yeah, just keep them coming, even though there's no Bigfoot in the. I mean, I'm sorry. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I mean, anytime there's a report in the UK, you go investigate, shoot some video, and.
Well, that's the other part. I'm up here in Cumbria, which is about as wild as England gets. I've got the Lake District, a stone's throw away. I've got Scotland across the Solway. I spend a lot of time outside. I've never really seen anything that would make me think.
Well, I hear that they use Adrian's Wall to go from one area to another.
Adrian's Wall. Hadrian. Hadrian.
That's what I said. Hadrian's Wall.
You said Adrian. We all heard
didn't
it.
hear my H.
Oh,
you didn't
hear
hear the
a
H.
silent H. Okay.
Hey, Hadrian's. I can't. Hadrian's Wall. Jeez.
Well, that's
cool whip. Cool whip.
Cool whip. But yeah, that's my take on it. I don't care that I don't believe in UK Bigfoot. I'm now following this guy obsessively just because he has the exact same name as me and he's from England.
Boy, he doesn't know what he's in for, does he?
So he is our new Tim Fasano. We are going to feature his videos on a weekly basis.
All right, cool.
Richard, if you're listening to this, get in front of the camera and start talking about how great you are to ingratiate yourself further to us.
And remember, WWTFD.
What would Tim Fasano do? Indeed. But yes, that is the tale of how I found a fellow Bigfooter with the exact same name of me in England. Thank you, Sean Evidence, for bringing him to me. Hopefully this is the start of a beautiful friendship. You know?
And now a word from our sponsor.
Are you unable to enjoy summer because of your seasonal allergies? You aren't alone. Many of us suffer the coughing and sneezing that makes spring and summer feel gloomy. But now, you can enjoy the outdoors with antihistamine. Antihistamine works with your immune system to fight off harmful allergens, fighting more symptoms and lasting up to 12 hours longer. The chemical compound used in antihistamine is clinically proven to be more effective than leading medicines, so instead of waiting for the season to pass, get out there and live your life. Antihistamine is not for everyone. Consult your doctor before taking antihistamine. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, depression, drowsiness, itchy throat, high blood pressure, low blood sugar, heartburn, bad breath, athlete's foot, acid reflux, gingivitis, upset stomach, blurred vision, cottonmouth, sore throat, sore gums.
You can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
That one was a bit on the long side.
Well, you know, there was a lot of cautionary. Yeah. I mean, you take this stuff and you get athlete's foot. That's pretty bad.
Yeah. Good old Rexall never lets you down. Our next video also comes from Squatchable. It is a 10-minute video on the background of the Ohio grassman. As always, the links to the videos are in the description. I could watch videos like this happily all day. A bit of history, nice 10-minute soundbite. That's my length for a YouTube video. Anything over that is too much. Anything before that is not enough. The most famous, he talks about the most famous Bigfoot Ohio, which is of course the Ohio grassman. Talk about the drone from video from the Salt Fork. Can't speak all of a sudden. Salt Fork State Park video. The videoer didn't seem that impressed by the Salt Fork State Park, and after speaking with the dude who made it, neither am I, thinking it may be a man in a bulky winter clothing. But the legend of the Ohio grassman begins in 1869 and concerns reports from Galapagos, Ohio, telling of the gorilla of Ohio. Apparently, a large, hairy, ape-like animal jumped on the back of a man's carriage. The passengers threw a rock at it, and it fled. In recent years, one of the most active areas for Bigfoot in the east of America is Ohio. In 1942, officially the state officially listed Cedar Bog as a natural preserve. If the stories are to be believed, the bog is home to a mysterious Bigfoot. In the mid-1970s, there was an explosion of Bigfoot reports from Ohio. Outside of California, there isn't any other state that has as many Bigfooters who see themselves as researchers and hunters. I'm not sure if I believe that, because Washington, the Pacific Northwest.
Well, no. I think that's correct. He says the amount of Bigfooters and researchers, even though this is known for it here, we don't have that many researchers. There's more that go into the heck was that? There's more that go into the state park there in Ohio and claim that they're doing research.
Yeah.
Than pretty much anywhere, I would think. And of course, they never find anything. But I think some of them are really. I don't know if they're delusional or just making the crap up or what they're doing. And hey, this is a footprint, and it's not really a footprint, or you know what I'm saying.
I love that. It's one of my favorite things when they say this is a footprint and it's just like a hole in the ground.
Yeah, or like an indentation.
Or
like
an indentation.
It's soft ground, and they kneel down on a knee and they get up. Oh, look, there's a footprint.
There's a footprint. Yeah. There you are. Easy way to fake Bigfoot tracks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it with your foot.
Could do it with your foot. Yeah. I mean, just because he's Bigfoot doesn't mean some of them don't have small feet.
No. You just move it from side to side, and back and forth, and it makes a footprint. It was soft enough ground.
Wow, we're getting a how-to guide on Bigfoot.
On faking, on faking. Now get out there and start faking them today.
No, the views of Phil Pulling are not necessarily the views of the rest of us here. Don't fake Bigfoot tracks. There's more than enough hoaxes out there. But one of the most famous cases for the Ohio Grassman comes from the 1970s. It's called the Minerva case. He doesn't go into that much detail about it, but it is famous. I mean, it's one of the first Bigfooting stories I heard. Basically, a family was terrorized from by a Bigfoot in 1978. Apparently, it made its home in a gravel pit. It was observed in daylight. It even defended children from a phantom panther. There were a rash of sightings in Minerva after that. Eyeshine mostly. A Bigfoot peering in through windows, the smell of it. Police officers conducted a thorough search on horseback, but found nothing except for some odd footprints. The Bigfoot returned the next few nights before eventually someone just shot at it and it ran off.
And then, of course, there's the famous moneymaker audio of the Bigfoot scream. Or calls, howls, whatever you want to call it. And you'll recognize it because it's way off in the distance. And there's a barking dog that's close by barking. And that's Moneymakers. And that was the classic Bigfoot howl that everyone recalls.
Yep.
That was near the West Virginia border too. It was just on the other side.
It's a good howl. The Ohio howl is bone chilling. I mean, if I heard that, I mean, there's another big quote unquote Bigfoot howl that's recorded is in a tent with a young couple. I don't know if you've heard that one. That's almost the same as the Ohio howl.
Oh, I don't think I have.
And that one, if I was out there in a tent and I heard that noise, I would literally be scared.
Now that is exactly what we heard. That howl, that sound.
Yeah.
Except it was very close. It was extremely loud and very close. And
I think go ahead.
Yeah, and it did freak us out a lot. But anyway.
I think the Ohio howl is the one people imitate the most.
Yeah.
When you hear. Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to Bigfoot vocalizations, I mean, the Ohio howl is like number one on people's mind.
Yeah, it's classic.
And, the Samurai Chatter is another classic one.
Yeah.
Of the two of those, I'm more inclined to believe the Ohio.
Well, up here in Washington State, they have the whistles.
Whistle.
Yeah,
Yeah, in fact, the Native Americans called it the whistler because they made these whistle sounds.
The problem with whistles is a lot of animals make whistles.
Birds do.
Yeah, birds and like mustelids.
Some do, yeah. Some rabbits can whistle.
Rabbits make all kinds of weird noises.
Yeah, but this is big and it's loud and it's a different kind of whistle. It's it's a long, elongated. It's like the howl, but it's a whistle. Let me put it that way.
Well, yeah. I'll see if I can find that tent howl and send it.
I would like to hear it.
Do a breakdown on it.
I'll listen to it late at night and then go to bed.
But yeah, if I heard the Ohio howl when I was in a tent outside, I would be terrified. Don't mind telling you.
Yeah, that's because you're normal, I guess. That's a good test of sanity.
Yeah. Alrighty then. And now a word from our sponsors.
Your spring and summers don't have to be unbearable. Now you can enjoy them with the people you love. Even more side effects include spontaneous combustion, Down syndrome, bankruptcy, gout, temporary blindness, heart failure, dyslexia, total shutdown of vital organs. Do not consume milk or water while taking antihistamine. People who take antihistamine are likely to develop certain cancers, as well as worsening and even new allergies. Other side effects include paralysis, neurocorrosion, seizures, AIDS, lung drowning, kidney failure, testicle erosion.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Oh wow, I had to mute myself there. That was hilarious. That was really good. I like that. Because I used to live in America and I know that your drug commercials are exactly like that.
Oh yeah, that's exactly like that. Yeah, and a histamine.
Yeah,
I got to get some of that stuff. I've got some rats out back. I'd like to poison.
What doesn't kill you makes you wish it had. So our next story also comes from Squatchable. This is the last Squatchable story of the night. ECBRO founder and Virginia Bigfoot Conference director Daniel Benoit promotes this year's Virginia Bigfoot Conference on June the 27th and 28th. He'll be guest speaking as well as hosting the event. It's being held at the Wave Community Center in Western Virginia. Guest speakers, raffles, vendors, arts and crafts, games, books for sale with the authors on site. Mark your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. Plan to be there. Invite your friends and families. Kids will love it. There will be face painters, ice cream. There'll also be a demonstration of a thermal drone. It's going to be awesome. Plan to attend.
And they're guaranteeing no tornadoes.
They're guaranteeing no tornadoes. They've made a deal with the tornado god. And he's like, okay, I'll take care of it.
They sacrificed 3 Mexican Chihuahuas so that there'll be no more tornadoes coming through that area.
Why should I have to be Mexican? I mean,
you'll have to ask them.
But yeah, that is the Virginia Bigfoot Conference, June 27th, 28th. Phil, you going to attend that?
Well, let me see. That's in Virginia, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Don't you? I mean, you were a big deal in the Bigfoot community. Don't you ever get invited to these things?
Yes, as a speaker.
You just get up there and do breakdowns.
Well, no, I mean, I gave talks. I've been to the 2 out here on the Washington coast. I was a guest speaker. And the first year was kind of cool. I get up and I basically talked about, logic, reason, doubt, the actualities of Bigfoot, and all this kind of crap, and then, and the second year was interesting because, good old Bob Gimlin was there, and he and I hit it off real well, and found out that we were actually, they had the guest speakers at a neighboring hotel. And I went down in the morning to grab, breakfast and a donut or whatever it was. And here's Bob Gimlin sitting at the table there. And he invited me over and we had breakfast together, had a good chat. He he was talking to me about when he was in World War II, you know, his service days and stuff. It was kind of cool. You know, he's just a nice guy, very open and a genuinely nice person.
Everyone says that about him, that he's a really nice bloke.
Yep.
So he must be.
Congenial,
yeah. The only person I've ever known to say anything negative about him is MK Davis. And Matthew Johnson after Gimlin said he
MK Davis can't say anything negative about Bob Dylan because he's no expert. Okay, he's no expert.
We don't really need to go back down to that massacre theory route, do we? But
I gotta tell you, man. I mean, when the first time someone told me about it, and you know, obviously I had a bit of skepticism about the story itself. I'm like, oh, come on, man, that's BS. No, really, here's the video, here's him talking about it and blah blah blah. So I said, okay, I'll go check it out. Halfway through this thing, my brain imploded upon itself. That's how unbelievably bad this thing was.
You're just like, no, if this is it, I can't do it anymore. Was it worse than watching a Todd Standing video?
Yes, actually.
Wow.
It was when you use your After Effects and your video enhancement and all that, like he does, like MK Davis does. And then you make the stream, the sand in what the stream bed used to be over, all completely red, deliberately, like a lake of blood, and claim that this was a lake of blood. Time
to call it a day.
It was time. Yeah, I needed a drink at that point. I just said, you know what? I'm just gonna have a drink and try to relax and calm down because this is pretty lame. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Pretty lame.
Pretty
Chuck,
lame.
are you familiar with the MK Davis massacre theory?
Yes, I watched him before all that happened, and when he couldn't stop talking about just that video forever and ever, I kind of got out of it, and then that whole story came about, and I just dropped him completely because that's a little too much. Yeah, it's just a little too much to go that far.
Well, all right then. Do we have any more words from our sponsors?
Oh, well, I think we might have one more.
All righty then.
Stop taking antihistamine if you experience suicidal thoughts. Do not quit or begin smoking while taking antihistamine. Nor should you eat grapes after 7 p.m. Do not take antihistamine during day. It's time you took control of your life. Don't turn down another invitation. Ask your doctor about antihistamine today.
You can depend on any drug product that bears the name Rexall.
There you go. Don't drink any water or milk. You know, these are very important. After 7 p.m. Yeah.
Just plugging that antihistamine for all it's worth. How much are they paying you, Phil? I mean,
wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah. Wouldn't mind getting on that Rexall gravy train myself.
I know, right?
So this next video comes from our own Power Breakdown, and it is unique in that Phil can't say for sure that it's definitely not a Bigfoot. In fact, after watching this a couple of times, I got the feeling that Phil might think this might be legit. So, family out fishing being watched, 2 minutes, 28 seconds. Power Breakdown remains a channel. I've written that in my notes. So. Phil likes it. It's not as cut and dry as other Bigfoot videos he's seen. It was filmed in Burlington, Ontario, Canada. We all know those Canadians, they don't like to hoax stuff. The bush is very thick and it never made another appearance, but it could have been a bear. The video started with, "What is that?" Which is, you know, classic red flag right there. Be that as it may, the family is having an enjoyable time out fishing on a creek. A dark figure A dark figure is watching them, then slowly turns around and walks into the grass. The sunlight does seem to catch around its body to make it look like it's covered in hair, but I'm not an expert on these matters. And yeah, that's the video.
So then we had to consider certain things. Are you moving things around, Chubbs?
No, I might have hit the cord by accident, but
Well, it sounds like you're moving or you're touching the mic or something. I don't know what it is. It's like it's always sounds like there's something going on there, like you're moving stuff around. Or
no, if I am, I'm sorry. I'll
okay.
make sure it's clear.
Anyway, so one of the things to consider though is how tall the grass is.
Yeah.
Although it could be a juvenile Bigfoot. You know, they always do that. You know, if it's 6 foot tall and looks like a person, a lot of times they'll just jump right to, it's a juvenile Bigfoot.
It's a juvenile Bigfoot. Nobody said that, though.
But no one said that. Someone contacted me and said, if you look real close at my enhancement, that it looks like the figure is actually holding a fishing pole. I did not see a fishing pole.
That was my first thought as well, and I didn't see anything either. I had a good look at this video.
Yeah, I obviously, I mean, I was looking at the figure all up and down. Now, the shape when he turns does look like it has more of a neck rather than down on the shoulders type of a look. So it does look more human at that point. But when it's just standing there staring, like it doesn't. I don't know. Maybe he's wearing a hoodie. That could cause that, but you can't tell what it's wearing or anything other than it's just standing there staring at the family.
Yeah, it does look like at one point it looks like it's got its hand in its pockets.
Right.
I'll say that.
Like, or maybe his hands are right in front of himself or something. But yeah, I mean, some, I don't know, pervert watching the family. I don't know. Who knows? But
who knows? But it could have been real.
It could have been. It could have been a real Bigfoot. I mean, if you're believing in Bigfoot, then and you see that video, you go, you know what? Yeah, that could be the guy. The guy, that guy.
For sure, it was a hoax.
I wish they would have done any kind of follow up, like put somebody out so we could see how high the grass actually was. But as usual, we didn't get anything like that.
Well, you didn't have any researchers there anyway. You just had a family there fishing, you know. And by the time anyone who knew anything about it saw the video, well, the grass was probably dead and trashed down by then, you know.
Yep.
When was the video taken?
I don't remember. It was the summer, obviously.
It'd have to be in the summer, yeah. It wasn't now. I mean, Canada's a frozen wasteland in winter months. So, you know, the survivors are all trying to eat each other and stuff.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
We had some sirens there.
Yeah. Or a dog.
Or a dog. But yes, I'm a fan of this video. I'm prepared to say it might be real. I can't see anything that would lead me to suspect that it's 100% a hoax.
Correct. I don't think the family was hoaxing it.
No.
It's a lot of work to put a whole family through.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Not only that, but the thing was far enough down the creek where, I mean, it would have had to walk through water and everything to get to the, you know. So I would say no. But, you know, the thing is that it looked like there might have been trails down to that creek. So I'm thinking it could be there's a campground right there and people come and go, you know, and I brought up the point that maybe he's one of the guys in the campground coming down to pick up a cold one from the creek. You know, people put their beer in the creek to keep it cold.
Could be that. Also, you know, wandering through long grass like that.
Like I said, it might have been a trail.
Might have been a trail, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that's that story. Our final story comes from infosahoy.com. Is Bigfoot roaming the UK? It's not just North America where Bigfoot runs free, says researcher Deborah Hatswell, who has shared a terrifying map of sightings from rural Cornwall to the busy A15, sorry. I should know that. I live here. Elusive Bigfoots have been reported roaming woodland and roadsides all over the UK. Bigfoot has often been dismissed as being too small for secretive creatures like the Yeti and Sasquatch in comparison to the Himalayas and North America. But British Bigfoot researcher Deborah Hatswell has painstakingly compiled decades of sightings from Cornwall to the Highlands into one terrifying map. Deborah Hatswell, 52, said, "Over the years, I have collected and saved the reports made by other people worldwide. I not only saved them, I plotted them on a map." Debbie from Wolseley, Greater Manchester, prides herself as creating a safe space for members of the public to report their unusual sightings to. I have collected these reports in Scotland, Wales, Ireland, England, and many European countries, including Sweden, France, Germany, Holland, and the Baltic states. And it's not just the so-called Bigfoot which Debbie has mapped, however. Reports have flooded in claiming to have witnessed the most bizarre creatures imaginable. I have taken reports of the 8-foot hairy ape-like creatures like the one I witnessed, and I have also taken reports of upright wolves, troglodytes, reptilians, pig-faced creatures, and humanoid figures with wings. If you can name it, I will have no doubt have a report of it in my file somewhere. Debbie tries to allow people to open to her without any interruption to get the most accurate report possible. She also has her own way of taking doubtful claims with a pinch of salt. Debbie added, "I always ask the person reporting to write out on record the event before I share anything with them. I want to hear the experience in their words with their descriptions uninfluenced by me. I do have fake reports that come in, and I do have tools set in place to weed out the hoaxers. And there are certain things I can ask which will clue me into how honest the person making the report is. And honestly, the fear is..."
I both could be a Bigfoot. We both have extremely long legs, and I have elongated arms, and I roam the woods nude at night often.
I don't want to give away too much away, or I'll be revealing my tricks of the trade when it comes to taking reports, was her final say on the matter. So there we have Deborah Hatswell collecting all sorts of stories from across the UK.
Oh, there we go.
Nice little article. The link's in the description. Yeah.
Yep.
Frank says there's reports of West Sussex, and there's even a dog man.
It's a nice garden area there. What the hell are you doing?
That was a sliding glass door.
Your microphone is very sensitive. Let me just say that.
Well, I'm also in an apartment, so there's people above and next to me. So.
Oh, that might. Oh boy. Yeah, there you go.
But as far as the article goes, I will say it was very well put together. I hope that it actually goes somewhere, though, and the person continues down that path. So if there is any validity to it, it could help the whole idea of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well said.
Well, yeah, just keep doing what she's doing, however she wants to do it. It's her thing. You got to have a thing. That's her thing.
Keep the contempt out of your voice.
She's got she could be, knitting sweaters, but no, she's really involved, that one.
There are,
involved.
Okay, I admit I don't really believe in the Bigfoot in the UK. I mean, I want to believe. I read sighting reports. I watch videos.
What about upward walking wolves and
troglodytes?
Yeah. What about all the other things that she's reporting? Dragons and whatnot.
She never says dragons. All right.
She says fairies, though. Does she say fairies?
And pig faces. Pig-faced people.
Yeah.
Pig-faced people.
Well, that's one of our most famous stories, Chubbs. It's the Pig Man of Cannock Chase.
Huh.
Yeah. It was in the Magical Mystery Tour. There was a bunch of I don't know how they got him to their movie, but
listen to me hit right now, all right? The Pig Man of Cannock Chase is a very famous British story.
And here it is.
Some
Go ahead.
soldiers saw a pig man.
End of story.
That's it. And that's why it's taken seriously, because they were soldiers.
And they were not drinking. Soldiers don't drink. So they were not drunk. They were not drunk soldiers.
Hey, listen, man. You say what you want about British Bigfoot, but I believe in the pig man, all right?
So, are we talking a human with a pig face or like a Bigfoot with a pig head?
Oh.
Have you ever seen The League of Gentlemen? And there's a little shop right outside of town.
It's a local shop for locals.
It's the local shop for locals only.
Oh no, that's all metaphysical. What you're talking about there, like
Yeah. Well, it's there though. I mean, it's there. It's there.
Is it a Bigfoot with a pig head or a normal person with a pig head? I don't know. It's a pig man.
Bigfoot head.
It's a pig man. That's all I know.
Okay.
It was
Half
a man
man,
bear pig.
Half
Man
pig.
bear.
I'm getting a lot of like, you don't exactly buy into the pig man of Cannock Chase here, Phil. And I gotta say that hurts my feelings, because like the pig man is just like lore, man. It clearly exists. A bunch of soldiers wouldn't make that up.
Do you often make assumptions towards myself and me? I'm shocked that you would even suggest such a thing. It's true, but I mean, I'm just shocked that you would suggest it.
Cannock Chase has everything. It's a paranormal hotspot. Says
It is.
It is.
I mean,
no.
They have the large panther, the black panther that roams around there, isn't it?
Oh, there's big cats everywhere in England.
Yeah. God. And then the werewolves.
And the beast of
They'll
Bodmin.
tear your lungs out, man.
Oh, werewolf stories have gone back centuries in England. So, like, I'd be more inclined to believe in werewolves before Bigfoot in the UK. We have were-rabbits as well. That's actually a British cryptid.
No, that's England for you.
You know, unfortunately, they were wiped out by the were-ferrets. So,
you know, that's why it's important to always make sure you have trained ferrets. It's a lost art.
yeah. I mean, all joking aside, give the article a read. It's clear this woman really cares about this. So, read her sighting reports and give her some love. That'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. Phil, you got any cool? Is Midnight on the Oasis actually coming out? Or
no, I don't. Not really.
Not really. Has the Midnight in the Oasis dream died?
It's. I'm waiting for some more stuff to come in.
Ah, okay. You still got the Anchor and Patreon account?
I still do. Yeah, I'm throwing things up there every once in a while.
Those links
And,
are.
it would be great to get more people on Patreon. But
Chubbs, you got any? Oh, I suppose you're just getting ready for the piss up that is Mardi Gras.
Well, that's the big Fat Tuesday, as they call it. This is the big thing coming up. But on Saturdays around 7, I go on a show called Spooky Saturday, where we talk about everything from cryptids to horror movies and such. So if anybody likes scary things, it's something to look out for.
Give me the old. I'll toss that link in the description as well, then, if it's on.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
All right, cool. I didn't know that. I will listen to that. That sounds cool. And as I said, Bigfoot and with Keith and Colin are going to spend the week looking for a new look. That's us for this week. Join us again next week with more Bigfoot news. It's good night from me, and it's good night from you. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Nice to